showtime. Welcome to the show. Are you ready?
Give me some, give me. Give me some, give me.
Is that free smoke I see?
Give me some, give me. Give me some, give me some, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me.
CJ on 32s and you rocking out with free.
The life of Gary Bear, man.
The real Nova 797.
TK's Garage.
You put a budget, man. If you rock with me, you need to rock with free smoke, baby.
Mess with free smoke heavy.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy CamelCat.
Beauty 392B.
Shout out to the free smoke. Hey, man. Say, man. Hey, man. It's your boy, man. Real for real, man.
Free smoke, free smoke.
Hey, free smoke, free smoke.
And you're watching Free Smoke.
Are you watching Free Smoke?
Free Smoke. Free Smoke.
Free smoke, free smoke.
Rocking with free smoke, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. Yeah.
To the latest podcast on YouTube, Free Smoke.
Make sure y'all tune in to the free smoke family,
Free
man.
Smoke. Yeah!
What's going on, guys? Modern Day Muscle from Free Smoke. Make sure you go and check out freesmokeofficial.com where you can get your free smoke apparel. We're covering all bodies from small to 5X. Make sure you come and check it out. Again, that is freesmokeofficial.com. Go and get your apparel.
Yo, we back in the building. Free Smoke, man. Yo, as y'all know, it is Sunday Fun Day, man. It happens every single Sunday. We go live, man, as we always do. As y'all know, I'm your boy FaTKaT. We got the Relly Rels here with us this evening. As y'all already know, man, newest member of the Free Smoke family. And we here, man, heavy. And again, nothing changes, man. We here with another live show. Now, with that being said, man, we got a special guest in the evening for y'all today, or this evening, I should say. Man, if you guys are anywhere near the car community, the car culture, man, the car anything, you know what I'm saying? Especially, not only, but especially Mopar, you know what I'm saying? Then if you guys don't know about these people, man, I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all sleeping under a rock, man, because, man, they are heavy in the game when it comes to modifying these cars, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the Midwest area. But, of course, man, they got cars, man, they're putting their touches on cars from East Coast to the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot that's how special these guys are. And they're shot because, man, they put so much work in, man. And like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of people bring their cars over to them so that they could put their special touches on them, man. And like I said, man, we just want to hear everything that they got going on. We want to know all the ins and outs and all that stuff of going on in the background. You know what I'm saying? How they started, where they're at, where they're going, all that good stuff, man. We want to know all the details, the fine details about making what makes this shop work, man, and what makes them tick, man. Because at the end of the day, like I said, they are heavyweights in this game. And again, if you guys are anywhere near the Mopar car community or the Mopar community itself, IG, YouTube, anything else, man. If you guys watch some of the bigger YouTubers on YouTube, especially if they own a Mopar, then they probably at some point in time have been to this shop and you've heard about them. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, we want to make sure, especially if they're in the Midwest, you know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure that we wanted to bring them on, man, so we could kind of get the ins and outs and kind of just pick their brain a little bit, man, and see how, you know what I'm saying, what makes this shop work the way it works, man, and what makes this shop tick. So as of right now, man, we have one, you know what I'm saying, we got one half of the team here right now with us backstage where we're going to introduce him now. The other half, I believe, is trying to get in right now, man, but I think it looks like he might be still having some issues. So that's okay, man. We're going to go ahead and roll with the first half of the team, man. And then we'll bring in the next one as he is able to log in and get everything situated, get everything working, man. So with that being said, without further ado, man, please, everyone, please put your hands together. You know what I'm saying? Have a warm welcome, round one of applause for the one and only Mr. Randall at the end at ModFX. Let's go on, man. Welcome.
Hey, what's
welcome,
going on?
Welcome,
What's going on?
sir.
What's up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome. We in the building. Appreciate you one more time, sir, for coming in, spending some of your Sunday with us. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you don't have to do this, man. But again, we greatly appreciate, you know what I'm saying, anyone that comes in and spends just a little bit of time with us and takes a little bit of time out of their day, especially their Sunday, to come hang out with us, man. So we greatly appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost.
Yes,
So,
sir. Yes, sir.
With that being said, man, hey, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So as we always do with the first question that we always give to all of our guests, man. Don't give them too much though, because obviously we got a lot of questions for you.
Yes,
So just a brief overview of who is and what is ModFX.
Yeah, so ModFX, we're a shop based in Houston, Texas. We've been doing this about 10 years, Jose and myself. And basically we make cars look good in a nutshell, so that might entail wheels, braking systems, suspension, exterior dress ups, body kits, wide body conversions, pretty much the full gambit of what it takes to customize a car. So we get a car straight from a dealership, from wherever in the country it may come from, and we'll just bring the customer's vision to life. So really it's all about personalization and showing people, helping you bring your vision to life and allowing you to enjoy your vehicle the way it should be.
Okay, that's what's up right there. It's nothing like, being able to bring somebody's vision, to life when they say, hey, I got this idea. Maybe they can't put it down on paper or something like that, but they could just explain it to you and you guys, put that thing together like that. So,
Yes, sir.
with it being, the two halves of ModFX, what made you all decide to, pretty much say, you know what, let's go into business together?
So we were in a car club, and so we would go all over town, go to different events, and what they had was a thing called a mod meet. What a mod meet is, all the guys get together, maybe in a garage, maybe in somewhere, and we all just work on each other's cars. Everyone has their specialty. I may be doing one thing, Jose will be doing another thing, and then the rest of the people will be doing stuff. But as we started doing the mod meets, we were like, hey, we've people are taking a liking to us working on their vehicles, but we're really working on some projects that, could actually, you can build a business around. And so we toyed with the idea, did everything at a smaller scale. And, over time, everything kind of grows, with the appropriate structure in place. So.
Gotcha.
That's what's up, man. And that's beautiful, man, because a lot of times it starts off that way, man. A little idea, man. You got to start playing around with a couple things here and there, and the next thing you know, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes crazy beyond belief. So that's beautiful that you guys, started off like that, and it's just growing crazy right now. But with that being said, though, what would you say, and especially in this short amount of time that you guys have been in business, what makes ModFX itself stand out from the rest of the shops?
Well, I'll speak for myself. We just have fun. We've gone all over the country. So from Texas to California to, pretty much everything in between, we go to different events. And so, you can spend a lot of money working on these cars. And if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, you'll be upset. You don't get a trophy, you just dropped a lot of money. It's like, hey, it's upsetting. It's not what I thought it was going to be. But when you just go and have fun, park your car, talk to people, network, you're going to meet people you never would have met outside of being in the car community. So, if I go somewhere in Alabama, if I get a flat tire, I can call someone and say, hey, I'm down the street. Can you help me? And so it's like having a family built in. And so that's kind of what we base it around is family. Everything else falls into place. It's nothing more, nothing less, just family environment. You can bring your kids around when we go places, and it's just, we're just trying to have fun at the end of the day. So.
Okay, no doubt. And that's the, when you bring about family, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the type of environments that we all like to, be in, and, within the car community and stuff like that, because a lot of the car community is family, you know what I mean? So,
right.
That's the best type of environment. Now, with in creating and starting businesses, some people may see you guys where you're at now. Okay. But we know sometimes everything don't go as smooth as people think they go through. Now, were there any challenges in the rise of ModFX? And if you don't mind sharing, maybe one or so. And if so, what do you guys do to overcome that?
Yeah, and so it definitely, RIP Nipsey, it definitely is a marathon. It's no such thing as saying I'm going to open up a shop, start a business, and from ground zero you're gonna have a buzz and have the success that you plan you're gonna have. With any business in general, I went to school for business as well, but any business in general, you want to start from ground zero and build that foundation. So you got to do your groundwork. So every car meet, we were out handing business cards out, hand to hands, meeting people, talking to people. Hey, let me work on your car. Let's do this. And so it's more about collaborating with people and them giving you an opportunity, but at the same time, you providing value to those people. So as long as you providing value in some capacity, pretty much everything else is going to fall into place. And so we just really try and provide value, try and provide, the expertise as much as we can. And be a resource. That's really it. If you have those things in place, everything else will fall into line.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I think it's something that you said very important that I think a lot of people kind of gloss over. You just said that at every card meet, wherever you guys were at, you guys were out, doing the footwork, handing out cards, handing out this, handing out that, and a lot of people don't. When it comes to business, I think a lot of people forget about that. Now, a lot of people forget about the hard work, especially in the beginning when you're trying to get your name out there. What that is. People think that they could just put something out there. Oh man, people gonna come. Well, nobody. Who's mod? 10 years ago, who's ModFX? Who's going? And I'm just saying, as far as anybody, that's any business. I'm not saying particularly ModFX, but if you guys would have just been like, hey, we're going to put a shop here and people are going to come, how? If nobody knows who ModFX is, nobody knows where ModFX is at, nobody knows what ModFX does, how would you guys ever build that? So like I said, I think a lot of that groundwork, that legwork, I think a lot of people gloss over. So it's important that you say that. And like I said, I think a lot of people hopefully that's thinking about starting businesses, they got to really put that into perspective, man, that you got to put that groundwork in. You got to put that, okay, man, I don't want to go to this meet, but hey, if we want to get our name out there,
you got to go.
I got to go.
You got to go. Yeah.
It's just what you got to do, man. So, but let's move into some of your actual builds and things like that you guys have done over the years, man. If you can remember, man, off the top of your head, man, what was one of the hardest things or hardest modification installs that you guys have done so far?
We work on a lot of the same vehicles, and so over time, a lot of stuff comes like clockwork. But a cool project we did last year, it was a guy from Kentucky. He bought a car, literally never drove the car, got it shipped straight down here. And so on a Wednesday, he said, I have the car, I'm gonna get the car down to you. And people, they'll call in, they'll tell you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and it's like, okay, cool. But then on Friday, the car was here, and it's like, okay, he's serious. And so from that point, it was a matter of, he said, do to this vehicle what you would do if the vehicle was yours. And so he gave us free reign to customize the vehicle. So we did it inside and out. Everything we could throw at it, we did. And then that's kind of what led me to get my vehicle. It was a wide body Charger. So we did the air ride. He ended up putting Forgiatos on it. We did a custom trunk, all the good stuff, JL audio, all the way throughout, full sound deadening. So it was a full build, and it really let us show our full capabilities of what we can offer. And so luckily, we've had a lot of customers who've been really wanting to do full projects. Like we have one here from Tennessee. It's getting a Shirkai body kit, and so that's a Russian body kit. And so we get people that want to be the first to do things and want to kind of do things maybe that are not so much on the beaten path. And so that allows us to showcase our skills and kind of put the ideas from paper and bring them to real life.
But is that ever scary though? Like when somebody gives you full range, just be like, hey man, just do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that ever scare you? Because you could do something that, hey man, in my mind, you know what I'm saying, your mind, Jose's mind, whoever puts the input in the shop or in the builds, like you guys could be like, man, this is dope. But what if that customer don't like that for whatever reason? You know what I'm saying? Like, so does that ever make you guys nervous when somebody's like, hey man, just do whatever you want, no input at all?
Yeah, so we try and keep the customers updated and send quick little pictures and snippets. Some people they say I don't want to see it till it's done. That's when you kind of get scared because you could be playing with a lot of resources, time, money, all that good stuff. And it does happen. Take it apart. Let's start over. Let's get it right. And but when you have a customer that wants it a certain way, and they don't have a problem, paying or starting over, whatever, that's what you do. And even something as simple as like a hood wrap. I had a customer the other week. They wanted a gloss black. Gloss and satin black is a choice that we give customers a lot of times, and so they might have wanted gloss, and then we put it on there, or they tell us, just do whatever looks good. So we boom, put it on there. It's like I didn't ask for that, and it's like, okay, well, just say you don't like it, and that's easier than saying you didn't ask for that. So we just try and work with the customers and kind of give them, ultimately as long as they're happy, we're happy, and so we just go above and beyond and trying to make sure we meet everyone's needs. So.
Gotcha. Now you mentioned now that you guys have a lot of the same the Mopars and stuff coming in, so everything is almost like clockwork. You know what you're doing and stuff like that. And I noticed in the backdrop back there you got a couple Mopars back there now. Now, how often do you guys get non-Mopars to come into the shop? And if so, is it a longer time span in which it takes to get those done, or is it like clockwork with those as well, since you guys have so much experience?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say a lot of muscle cars. So you got the Camaros, the Mustangs, and you have the Mopars, of course, which we run the full gamut on those. And so, I mean, we pretty much can get them in and out, knock them out. It's air suspension, body kit, stuff like that. It's only one way you can put it on, which is the right way, hopefully. And so, we knock them out. But we have some cool non-Mopars as well. We hit a car show with about 30 cars yesterday. Took home about 18 trophies, and so one of them is Simone _my SS. She has a Camaro. We did the air ride on it and a few other cool things. I also want to mention Straight Clowning. That's one of the Mopars, and then we have a few Mustangs as well that we've done a lot of cool things too. And so as we get more popular, people for other brands are starting to reach out. But back to what you said about business. About how to build it, not saying we only wanted to work on Mopars, we just had the Mopars, and so it all started from me and Jose taking our cars apart in his garage. I wanted halos on my car. I'm cheap. I didn't want to pay anybody, and I wasn't going to drive to New Orleans, which people from out here were driving to New Orleans to get their cars worked on, because that's where the place that made the products were. And so I was like, I'm not doing that. And so we took the car apart 10 at night. Boom, by 3 in the morning, I had my halos done. That was my first halo install, and so. Any mistakes I made on my car, I know not to make them on everything else. And so, like you say, doing the groundwork, doing the work yourself, learning it inside and out. And then from that point, once you master one platform, you start working on other platforms, and then you start working on other ones, but you always kind of have your core. Mopars are our core, but everything else, we take it as it comes. We've even done an M6, put air suspension on an M6 recently. And so that was a cool project as well. His Instagram is M6_legend. So, so we love them all.
That's what's up. Hey, hold on real quick, Relly Rails. I'm going to have to pause you for a second. It looked like you was about to ask something else. But let me pause you for a second, man. Let me go ahead and real quick. Shout out to people here. I forgot to do shout outs real quick, man. So we got Tamika Davis in the building, of course. Ladies Dutch Rod. Jen and Rails, as y'all know, man. That's Relly Rails and his wife's couples channels right there. So we appreciate Jen for being in here, because we know Rails. Rails is right there, exactly. So big time shout out to Jen in the building. Charles Calloway, man, big deal, 392. Tim Gomango, man, the list goes on and on, man. We got Malachi in the building, Robel, Carlos to Jesus. I think we see E-Vapors in the building too. Oh, there goes Simone and Joker TV right there. Is that by chance is that maybe the same Simone you're talking about as far as that Simone _. I forgot what you said, but that's
they're here right now.
So there you go, man. So appreciate that, man. Appreciate you for coming in and rocking out with us. E-Vapors, there you go, man. It's Reddy Rose brother. But Mr. Zoe Brown, I see you too. But so anyway, and I wanted to say, Tay Weezy, of course. So ladies, let's ride acknowledge that as well, man. Straight Clown 797. They say the work you did on that car was fire. So you know what I'm saying? Like I said, your work is being known out here, man. A lot of people are starting to see, like I said, starting to really understand what you guys are doing. And oh, by the way, shout out to my son right there. There go my son right there at work. Must be on break right now. You know what I'm saying? But there go my son right there. So we appreciate him. But anyway, with that being said, I also want to bring in the other half of ModFX, man. So you made it on right now, man. So let's go to bring in the other half of ModFX as we speak, man. We could, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can start getting some of his insight as well. So everybody, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Jose ModFX.
What's up, man?
In the
What's
building.
up, guys? How y'all doing?
What's going on, man? We appreciate you for coming in, man. Hey, if you're actually, I guess it depends on. You must be on your phone. If you want to turn it sideways, it'll be full screen. But it's up to you. If you're more comfortable, that's full screen right there.
Yeah,
there we go.
I was here with a couple friends right now from the bar.
It's all good. Oh, okay. We appreciate it. How you doing? Hello. The real New York is in the building as well. DJ Slim. So, so we already asked Randall a couple questions, and so he had great insight. Let me see if there's anything else. Rels, is there anything out of this question we already asked that you might want to go back and ask Jose maybe to get his insight as well?
As far as the previous questions, I asked Randall earlier, what made you guys, decide to say, hey, we want to get in the business together. So let me get your take on how you perceive that conversation and the interaction between y'all two.
Hold on, give me 1 second. All right,
yes, sir.
All right. Can you say that one more time? Sorry. So that's the reason I didn't get it on the podcast. I had somebody visit, and I was like, "Oh yeah." Randy called me, like, "Dude, what the hell? I was supposed to tell me a little earlier." So you were saying basically what made us start? You said basically what made us start.
I asked Randall, what made you guys start? But I want to know from your perspective, what clicked with you to say, you know what, this would be a great idea for me to go into business with Randall?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you one of the things. Basically, me and Randall, we met through a little car club, called Space City LX. That's how we originally met, and we wanted to work on we didn't instantly want to work on cars, right? We wanted to work on our own and do things because we got tired of taking it to some shops and them not taking that personal level, right? Or taking care of your car, getting it on time. So I think that's what made me and Randall start doing the work on cars in our house and with other friends and doing with like-minded individuals. The rest is just history. If somebody would have told me, hey, 10 years from now, you're going to be ModFX. So 10 years from now, y'all going to do this, or y'all going to have a bigger shop, or y'all going to have more business together. I probably would have said, oh, man, get out of here. Y'all lying. We're not. That's not what we were trying to do. We're doing it for fun. It just so happened to be a hobby that turned business, I think, from my eyes. But it was from seeing for having previous experiences with other shops and places that people complain about. And we try to do every day. We try to do the opposite of that. The shops that get complained on, the people that don't do the work, the places we've been that we don't agree with. So me and Randall try to implement that on our side, totally different. So that's why in our shop, it's a little different where people can walk in and actually see people working on their cars. And we're not afraid to let them look at what we're doing. We're not afraid to let them look at what's going on there because we got nothing to hide. We're trying to do it so, hey, when you give me your car, I'm working on your car just like if I was working on my own. So that's what's kind of part of the inspiration, behind me and Randall starting the business was taking care of the customer the way they should with their cars as enthusiasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha. Did you want to revisit anything, FaTKaT?
Yeah, actually I did. But hey, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to say this real quick, man. But Randall, I believe when you shared the story just now. You shared this link, right?
Oh,
well, so that link is specifically for guests that are on the show. So we keep getting people that's logging in trying to come onto the show instead of just being like, no.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's my bad. I'll fix it right there. Yeah, I sure did.
I don't know who Tom is, but he's trying to get in.
Hey,
Tom all damn. Tom trying to get in.
Yeah, Tom trying to get in. Hey, but we appreciate Tom though. At the end of the day, but it's just But that link is specifically just for the people that's on the show. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's all good though. What we're gonna do is after this, we'll send you the link to the actual live show to the video, and that way you guys can share that out, and people could come watch the interview itself, man. But what I did want to revisit real quick before we move on, is I want to get Jose's perspective. We got Randall's perspective, but what would you say so far that you could think of at the top of your head? What's been the hardest like modification or install that you guys have done so far in the shop's existence?
Let me see, the hardest, huh?
Most difficult, most pain in the butt. However you want to put it, man.
I would say some of the things that are self-taught for us, right? You would say, some people, they really trust us with doing mods in their cars. So I think the hardest thing is somebody comes up with a new idea, something new that just came out, and we're like, so we haven't done it yet, but they insist, like, I want only you guys to do it. I'll give you an example. I think that OMG 707 car is the red one. He also became a good friend. He came from complaining about where he's been and how they took care of him and this, that, and the third. And he always brings us these projects. Same thing with like Explosive 707. It's a charger that's got a bunch of stuff that we've done on it. I think the hardest, I would say the hardest thing work-wise is making these cars the way these customers project us to put them, right? So if they come up with a project like OMG with his trunk setup recently, he wanted it to light up. He wanted it to be showed out there. He wanted hard lines on it, and I wanted to do something different or something out there spectacular. I was trying to do something with epoxy and stuff like that, right? So I think I'm gonna consider his being a little hard for us, stepping a little away from the norm. And I think it's hard for me when I feel like something's not good enough. So then I scrapped the project and I started it over again, and I scrapped it once, 2 or 3 times, and then it was taking a little longer than expected. But at the end of the day, when I was done with it, he was super happy, he was super grateful, and I executed that project. So I think those are the ones that become the hardest. Not just something in particular. It's when a customer wants something that they dream of, or something that they say, hey, I want this to become reality. Can you make it happen? And it's like, that's that pressure. That's like oh shit, I got to try to figure something out to make this happen. So those are the ones where I say it's hard. On Randall's side, I'm not sure what he considers that would being hard. I think it's me making sure that the customer is super happy with their vision, and that's on my part.
Well, Randall did tell us, his perspective on that. But it's funny that you mentioned, talking about, you want to make sure you bring that vision to life. But Randall, speaking of which, Randall has also mentioned that sometimes you guys get customers that just drop off the car and say, hey, man, you guys do whatever you want because we trust you guys, right? Now, I already asked Randall, does that make him nervous, right? And I'm going to ask that to you real quick. How nervous is that? Because obviously, you guys build beautiful cars. Everybody knows that. But, from a business perspective, when somebody comes to just say, hey, throws you the keys and just be like, surprise me. How nervous do you get when that happens? Because, now you don't have anything to go off of. You don't have any vision, any input. So how nervous does that make you? Because like Randall said, you got time, you got resources, you got all those things that come into play, which equals money, right? Man hours, you got to pay people that's working on cars. You got, you got to pay for, obviously all of the, the resources that you guys use. But anyway, question is, when somebody just gives you a blank canvas and just throws you the keys, how nervous does that make you individually?
I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't make me nervous. The reason I don't get nervous is I don't do it with trying to make money and make somebody spend out their pocket. I do it by the person's character, how they is. I do a little bit of research, look at their Instagram, sometimes I ask them what are some of the things they like. And luckily enough, for the most part, anytime anybody's giving us that, whether it be a wrap, a full build, anything like that, I go back to that person. I try to get to know that person a little something. And usually those people get to know us a little more too. So they understand that, hey, I like certain things. I like this, I like that. My colors is this. So I start having fun with it. So instead of being nervous, I have a bunch of fun. Because I just think about, okay, well, if it was my car and I like these things, what would I do with it? And a lot of the times, all the time, so far, I'm not going to say that not going to be one time where somebody might be like, oh, maybe I don't like that, or that's not my cup of tea. But for right now, we've been very lucky and fortunate enough because we do it to the person, or we do it because we know, or we do it because we like it. We're not doing it to make the extra cash. We're not doing it to give you the most expensive experience out there. We're doing it, as genuine people. I'll tell you right now, I think it's doing it. If you're doing it from the heart and you're doing it genuine, at the end of the day, those things are a lot easier, and it just kind of works and comes together. And then you got to be thankful too that me and Randall are really good partners, right? We really communicate with each other. We check out on certain things. Is there something he says, oh well, I don't know about that, and I might have to convince him, hey man, we should do it like this because this person is. He might see it my way, or he might say, you know what, let's try this. I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. So because it's two of us, they always say two heads is better than one. Well, I consider me and Randall being that type of group. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Hey, hey, Tom. Tom, we appreciate the fact that you really want to watch the show, but go over to YouTube. Go onto YouTube and type in Free Smoke, and then you should see this thumbnail and the title pop up. It should say live, and click onto the YouTube video and watch it from YouTube. He's watching it from backstage on StreamYard.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just left. So hopefully he's gonna go do that now. But anyway,
hey, I got a question.
Go ahead.
So I noticed you got the New York hat. So what part? Where you from New York, or you just like the Yankees?
No. Yeah, when I was young, I'm originally from New York. I moved down to Florida when I was 13 years old, but I'm from Brooklyn.
What part of Brooklyn?
From Brownsville.
Okay, you know where I'm originally from New York too, right?
Yeah, I can hear it. Of course.
So I'm originally from Red Hook Projects, Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
I lived there for about 20-something years since I was born. So I grew up in Red Hook Projects on Bush Street.
So when did you move to Houston?
Say again?
When did you move to Houston?
I moved to Houston about 12 or 13 years ago. Back in 2007, 2008.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I moved to so I'm not gonna. I don't want to say my age or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I look young, but I'm old. Nah, but we definitely we moved down to Florida, to Orlando in the mid '90s. So I started high school in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Well, shit, you ain't got no gray hairs, bro. I got more gray hairs than you. I think probably a little stuff, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like I look young, you know what I'm saying? But I'm up there now. But it's all good though. But that's what's up though, man. You know, salute to you know what I'm saying, all the people. NY, it's not what it used to be, but it's all good, man. We still love NY, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
But we can move on though, like I said. So yeah, we just want to get your perspective on those things that we had already asked Randall, but I guess we can move on with the rest of the show.
Yes, sir. You know, and this question, both of you can answer the question. We'll start with you, Randall. Now I know there are a lot of services that you guys offer there at ModFX. Now, is there anything that you guys got together to say, you know what, I don't think we should add this, or maybe it's something that you guys added for a little while and it just didn't work out too much or whatever, or or is there just something that just didn't work out that you guys thought about offering?
I'm gonna tell you a funny one before Randall. I think the plastic dip thing, when you do the plastic dip or that spray dip on, I think that thing's something that I don't like. I don't like removing it. I don't like the way the finish is. We tried to add it a little while back, and then we were like, you know what, forget it. This is not. I don't really like that temporary stuff. To each his own. But Randall, what you think?
Yeah, that probably is gonna be the one. Back in the day before they had like before they had like dip your car, you were spraying plastic dip out of cans, and so we get people to say, I want to paint my wheels. I don't have a lot of money. I just want to dip them. Will you do it? And so it's like, we'll do it. And then they'll go through a car wash, like one of the little drive-through car washes. It'll tear up the finish, and then they'll bring it back and be like, hey, my wheels are messed up. But it's like they did it, and so it just wasn't something that made sense to do. A lot of time and effort goes, and it ends up, causing issues on the back end. So that would be a good example.
Yeah, definitely. I've had my experience with plastic dip. I had a Nissan 350Z, and it came with the aluminum wheels or whatnot. And I was like, man, the car was the silver joint. So I was like, you know what, it'd be dope if I paint these black. And then once I found out at the time how much powder coating was, so we're talking about like 2008-9. I was like, that ain't my best choice. I said, let me run over here to AutoZone, see what I can do. You know what I mean? So they taught me how to get in spray paint and getting plastic dip, but needless to say, I had to refinish it every so often, and it just became a pain in the butt. You know what I mean? So I got off the plastic dip ride myself too.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. You know what? But on that same note, and it might be the same thing, or maybe not. But you know, is there any kind of work? I mean, even at that time or even like right now, is there any kind of work that you guys just simply just will not do? No matter what amount of money a customer is willing to pay or whatever it is, like any modifications, anything that you guys would be like, we're not touching that.
I don't know, you Randall. I'm the type of person, man. I'll try everything. I mean, one time they asked, I'm gonna try it, but I don't think I found anything that's gonna be like, I don't know, that I'll be like, nah, I'm not doing that right now. But I know we want to get into a lot more. I definitely want to get into some bigger quality stuff. I think the next thing me and Randall was talking about is getting some more, some good tools, you know, because you got to invest in yourself. You know what I mean? So I think the audio scene with the mixed air ride audio, that hard looking trunks that are like real in depth, I think that's our next move. That's something that I want to go into. I definitely want to compete in the audio scene. You know, I know there's a lot of competition out there, but at least if we can tinker it a little bit, you know, tinker within it and put that in some of our cars, that would be great. You know, and we did a few of them here and there, but I think I want to go a little more intricate, a little more in depth with it. So,
gotcha.
Randall, is there anything that you would say from your perspective that if a customer came in, they literally came in with, I don't care what it costs, I just want this done. Is there anything that you just simply will, you know, 100% be against?
I would probably say one thing I don't favor is maybe painting the brake calipers. Like, let's say if customer wants to paint the Brembos, you know, a lot of stuff we do is powder coat, which is going to last longer, of course, and with the heat and the dirt, and we don't get like salt on the roads like up north, but we still have a lot of flooding, a lot of stuff goes on down here. And so, you know, when they're first done, they look good, but over time, whether it's rolling them on or spray painting them on, over time, the paint doesn't hold up the same. And so a customer will spend their money and expect, you know, the world, but long term, it doesn't make sense, because then you have to do them again 6 months later, a year later. And then, you know, it's like, well, if I had a customer say, well, you know, if I would have just known what I know now, I just would have powder coated them. And so something like that, you know, everything has a preference. Everyone has a budget. We try and work, you know, with all budgets and all customers, but I probably would prefer a powder coat over paint. Just one example.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now, you guys have, you know, been in business for quite some time right now. Now, you said that you met in the club and you were doing work in your garage. So both of you, when did you start doing mods, you know, prior to the YouTube? You know what I mean? How long were you doing mods before YouTube?
I think we were doing mods. This would be like maybe late 2010, early 2011. So we were doing mods just for ourselves, you know, not to, I don't even think Instagram and Facebook was around, but Instagram really wasn't jumping like that back then. And so we were just doing it, you know, because, you know, weekend warriors. And then, you know, over time, you want people to see your projects, to see your work, and people want to show off the work you've done for them. And so it kind of creates its own entity within itself, to where, you know, you have this online persona and presence where, you know, people are going to see it. You know, if you do good work, people are going to see it, you know. So
gotcha. And along the lines in that, before you hop on and answer that as well, Jose, because I want you to answer it individually as well. Like, Randall, when did you first start modifying cars? And Jose, when did you first start modifying cars? And if you could remember, which car was the first one that you really started modifying?
Yeah, my first car was a Buick. I had a Buick Century. You know, I was 16 years old. You know, I was working as a lifeguard, and I saved up my money over the summer, got the engine done, and then, you know, first day I got it back home, I went straight to the radio shop, got the radio put in, boom. And then from that point, I snatched the radio back out because I watched how they did it, put another radio back in, boom. From that point, saved up enough money to get my first audio system, you know, spec it all out, put it together, watch the person do it, take it back out, change my I had a bandpass box, change it to a ported box, then to a seal box. And so I started playing with that. And then, you know, so probably it's been a little while, you know. So
you want to show your age, huh? Want to show his age.
Hey, shout out to Demonology. Hey, people forget about that bandpass box, man.
Yeah.
So how about
yourself? Shake the block down back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. How about yourself, Jose?
Man, it goes back. I was probably around the same age, 15 or 16. I had cousins that were heavy into the car scene. They were always about 3 or 4 years older than me. And it started with the '89 Cutlass Supreme and the 87 Regals, the Grand National about back then. So I remember my cousin's friends having like 215s in the back seat, no seats for anybody to sit back there. Gigantic amps. I mean, the bass was ridiculous. It vibrates too hard. And ever since that's where I started. So my cousin started me with like putting little radios together or wiring up and showing me how to do it. Same thing with the amps and the audio and stuff like that. I didn't stay strictly in audio, but I always had to have music in my car. All my cars, I gotta have music. And then I think my first car was 1989 Nissan Sentra, and I thought it was like some big shit, you know. And I started putting stuff into it. Did some color. I did the black and yellow theme on it. I did it throughout the whole car. You know, and people would ask me, "Oh yeah," and I would do this little stuff here with friends and stuff like that. And then I think the one that I modded was a '93 SER, where I finally did a 240 SX engine in it. You know, and I think that was the top of like, oh yeah, I like this stuff. And then I met my wife, and my father-in-law was into the classics and stuff like that. We did a couple 65 Mustang, 67 Mustang. I did my brother-in-law's Mercury Kruger. We put some wheels on it, got some paint done. So yeah, I've been in it for a while, but not. It was always for hobby, you know. Always been for hobby.
Right.
You know, and I think I learned late in my years as far as the mechanic side goes from my father-in-law. He taught me a lot with putting stuff together, make sure I knew how to maintenance a vehicle, this, that, and the third. And, you know, every time something was messed up, I would let my father-in-law go ask him. So it was early in me and my wife's marriage that with my father-in-law, he taught me a lot of it. You know, unfortunately right now he'd love to get into that, but he doesn't have real good vision right now, but he still remembers everything. He can do it kind of with his eyes closed and probably change the brakes just by feel, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. But that's my story as far as that goes, for sure.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's a great testimony. At the end of the day, that's the best way to do it. Is you know, when something becomes is a hobby, turn it into a business, because a lot of times, as they always say, you know, if you do something for the money, it's probably not going to work out. But if you do something because you love it, and it's just this is what your passion is, it's for fun, the money just rolls in behind it, just because, you know what I'm saying. So
I do want to say one more thing too. You know, my dad has always been a hands-on type of person, and I regret, you know, being before 15, him trying to get me out to the fix, help him with the oil, help him with the brakes, and me wanting to be with my friends and not be around my dad at that point. But luckily enough, I grew up at a certain, you know, I matured a little bit enough where I was like, okay, I paid attention and see what, you know, saw what he was doing and this, that, and the third or whatever, and stopped being like, oh, I don't want to be with my friends, and I started being more with my dad, my friends, my dad and my uncle, and working on stuff like that. So now they look at me and they be like, man, you remember when you didn't want to touch that stuff? You remember when you didn't want to look and learn? It's like, look at you now. I was like, man, you would have learned back then and looked at it. You would have been started this a long time ago. But when we're young, you know how it goes. You when you're real young, you got that. You don't have that mindset. You know what I mean? You just like everything's about hanging out and friends, this, that, and the third. So, yeah, I do. I can't regret 100% because you know I can't say I regret everything. But I just said, yeah, I wish I paid more attention when I was a little younger. Definitely.
That's what's up, man. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask this question, and we're gonna go to Randall first, and then we'll go to Jose. But we kind of talked about like what was kind of maybe like your most difficult builds that you guys could think of so far. But in the time that ModFX has been a thing over the last 10 years, what off the top of your head, Randall, like what's been probably your favorite build, you know, that you could think of that you guys have done there?
I would probably say one of my favorite builds is going to be, we're talking whole car, straight clowning underscore 797. That's one of our guys from out of town, Drew. He's been a long-time friend, long-time supporter. We helped build his last car. And so with this time around, when I got my wide body charger about a year ago, he ordered the red eye. And so we you know, we talked about what we're going to do to him. You know, we actually have the same wheels, and so he has a different style than my style, and so we basically have twin cars. And so in his case, I like his car because it's similar to the car that I have, but he's put his own flavor on it. My favorite color is blue, of course, and so his theme is white and blue. And so just to see how his cars come together, you know, along with some of the projects that we've been able to help him complete as a complete car, it definitely is a build that's going to stand out. And it's all about standing out. So his car definitely is going to stand out in any car show, any event he goes to. So I love that car.
Okay. Jose?
So, I have a bunch of favorites, but Mine's gonna be a little different than Randall as far as the car. Mine's has been my wife's build because she's been involved doing it with me, and I think that was one of the things that I enjoy the build the most because you know I helped her do the Brembos on it. I helped her do coils when she wanted the coilovers. We wide bodied it. She helped me with the bag. She did all her bag setup and suspension. Took it apart. We learned a lot doing this kind of work together. That it brought us together really close. So I think my favorite build is going to be my wife's, not because of the car, how it looks, it's because of what it's developed between me and her as a relationship. I think that's where it comes a little different. But favorite builds out there, you know, I got a couple of like ONG, I enjoyed messing with his, and then Explosive Cat. Those two cars right there. I mean, man, I can say almost everybody's is in the game right now, honestly, because I really enjoy this stuff, and me and my wife both work on this, you know, Randall hand in hand with all three of us, and then his wife. So having two couples working on cars it's amazing to me. You know what I mean? Bringing family together, bringing friends together to do this stuff. I just can't pick an exact favorite, but I picked my wife's because me and her, you know, we did a lot together on that car, and we can consider it. I was gonna say, hey, she did everything on that thing. All she did was by watching me, and I just made sure she did it right. So I say that's my favorite build right now.
Nice,
cool.
That's what's up. Yeah, we definitely, man. That's dope, man. You know what I'm saying? When you can bring the whole family in and everybody's in on it, and you know, at the end of the day, you could build something like that because, like you said, it's not necessarily the build itself, but it's just what that represents for you guys. So yeah, that's dope to hear. But with that being said, though, you know, so again, I know Randall said you guys, you know, it's been basically 10 years. You kind of already answered this question, Jose, but I'm gonna ask you guys again. Randall, we'll go to you again first. Again, if somebody, or did you ever think that you guys, and I'm sure in your minds, you guys are probably like, man, we could be so much more and so much further, right? I'm sure as anybody else with a company. But did you guys ever think that you guys will be at the level that you guys are at right now, where, you know, you guys are almost, if I dare to say, hello, how you doing?
She heard me she heard from the podcast. She almost had a crying for what I said.
Oh, she almost started crying.
Yeah. So she came out. But yeah, I'm sorry.
Nice. That's what's up. But would you guys ever think that you guys will be at the level that you guys are at right now? You know, where you guys are, like I said, dare to say where you guys are, when it comes to, like, you know, especially the Midwest, and, you know, and now you're starting to get a lot of influx of people coming from outside. Did you guys ever think that you guys will be where you guys are at right now, especially with it just starting as a hobby? You know, you guys are starting off in your garage, you know. So would you guys ever thought that?
Yeah, honestly, I can say no. I mean, we started off, like I said, we centered everything around fun and family, and everything else kind of falls in line from there. And so, you know, we were just hanging out. You know, we would take the cars out. We had a meet called the Wings Meet. So every Wednesday night we go to the Wings restaurant. You might have 20, 30 cars on a weeknight. Everybody just sitting down, eating, you know, breaking bread, just networking and having fun. And so, you know, just by having people around us, that gave us opportunities to work on different projects. And then as people saw that work, it kind of snowballed from there. So it really just boils down to, you know, having a good support system around you and just, you know, stand the course. You know, it gets hard at times. You know, you miss birthday parties, you know, graduations, family reunions, all of that stuff. And so, I mean, like Kanye said, I'm a deadbeat cousin. You know, I missed a lot, but, you know, we definitely, we just have fun. You know, if you don't have fun, it's not worth doing it. And so, if like I said, if that's in place as a foundation, everything else kind of falls in from there. Even going to car shows, that's work. You know, we're out there, you know, networking, meeting people, talking to people, you know, showing them the real life fruits of our labor. So, you know, if it's not fun, you just there, you know. So,
man, it's true, big time. Jose, if you want to tackle that question one more time, man, I know you kind of answered it before, but, you know, would you think that you guys were at where would you have thought that you guys would have been where you're at right now 10 years ago when you guys first started?
Yeah, I think I answered that before. I said, hell no, I don't think so. And I still don't think I mean, people, I'm humbled all the time when people say, hey, man, you guys are great. What you guys do this? I'm like, you know, we do it for, the love of the cars. We do it because we enjoy it. I don't think we're at that level. I look at other shops. Randall knows, but I give props to other shops all the time because I'm not that type of person. And, I'm not a fucking hater.
Right.
I'm not gonna be mad at you because you did something doper than us. I don't care, man. I look up to that. So when I have the opportunity to see another build and I see somebody else who put hard work into their car, I salute them. I say, hey man, that's great work. Hey, that's good job. Hey, that's dope. Like I don't know. I don't think of it as being up there like that just yet. I mean, it takes a lot, and I think there's some people that deserve that credit too. That probably don't get it. That they're up there. That they've been doing this for a while too, and they've been sweating and grinding like us. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see it 10 years ago. Nah, I didn't see it.
Hey, real quick, FaTKaT. Hey, Randall, Jose, man, like, I'm looking at the shop right now in Randall's view. Like, do y'all ever come in there like first thing in the morning, just kind of put your hands on your waist and just look and just be like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, we doing this, and if y'all do, like, what's that feeling like just to see that accomplishment, man? Because you start in the garage, now you got lifts and all this stuff, man. Like, have you ever took that moment to take it in like that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the time, I guess the moment when it's like, it's always room to go, but when it's like we made it to the next level, if you rewind back to about a year ago when we moved into the shop where we're at now, the shop was empty, and we even made a YouTube video. We were just walking around, kind of talking about what we're gonna do. So for those who haven't seen that video, feel free to go to our YouTube channel, check it out. And you'll kind of see how we just talking about what we want to do, how we're gonna do it. Year later, you're gonna look at this podcast and you're gonna see, the difference in how you can just look at something and have that vision and bring it to life and kind of put your spin on things. And so for this, it just gives us a platform. We have a, new location, a lot of new projects, a lot of visibility. So it's just what you do with that platform once you have it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we got a small little video, I think, where we're sitting, and I'm dying to finish this video. It was a project, and people got busy, but me and Randall were literally on 2 high stool chairs in our garage, and we said, we started this in this very location, in this very spot. We were kind of explaining how we got into the car stuff, kind of like explaining it to a TV camera. And I want to be able to go back and record some of the people they're still in our lives today and be like, how do you remember us? And I want to hear that feedback from that. Like, how do you remember, when we first met compared to right now? Like, what's the difference? Have we changed as people? What do they see through their eyes? Because me and Randall probably don't see it like that, right? Like, we see it a little bit like we continue to do what we do every day. But I want to make that video where we get to interview some of the customers who became long-term friends. I'm talking about, I got friends in this fest that we went recently in Lone Star. Talking about 15 years or 12, 13 years that we've been in this business still, that still remember that first day they brought a car to us, still remember us as just Jose and Randall just hanging out, just doing our thing for a hobby. So for once in a lifetime, I'd like to hear the feedback back from all those people. I may not be there and then watch it after the fact when it's done and be like, oh shit, I didn't know they were thinking it like that. So that's how I want to see it. Yeah, that would be cool. So if you know any videographers who have time to do something like that, let us know, because man, all these video guys be busy, man. They be busy.
I know.
But it's a long project, something like one of those things where it's, at the end of the day, when you're done with it, it's like, oh damn, look, I'm finally done with this project. But we'll see.
Well, I'm sure you can find somebody, because let me tell you, if one thing Houston has is big, as somebody said right here, Carlos. Matter of fact, our guy Carlos Jesus, Houston's car culture is one of the biggest in the country, and that's 100% facts. As a matter of fact, we were talking about that a little bit with Randall behind the scenes before we started the show. Was Houston seems to be like the hub of car culture, especially when it comes to like the Midwest, what I'm saying. But another thing that Houston is big on, if you're in that area, is a lot of people that are big YouTubers, what I'm saying. YouTube Central is Houston as well, man. So I'm sure you can find somebody, or at least get with one of them YouTubers. Life of Corey, obviously CJ, you told the budget, who goes over all the time.
We see him.
Yeah.
Yep, we see
so, I'm sure those guys can definitely connect you with some dope videographers, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. But I do have another question though. Jose, we could go to you first. And I don't want your politically correct answer, because I know there could be a politically correct to be like, hey, my our longtime friend or everyone, everyone that comes in to the shop is great. which is true. I know it's true. As a business, that is very true. I know you guys value every single customer that walks in through your doors. But again, I don't want the politically correct answer though. But Jose, who would be your dream customer? Like somebody calls you on the phone, somebody calls you guys, and it's like somebody that you would never have thought that they even knew who ModFX was, and you put that phone, you'd be like, oh, I can't believe we got like this dude's about to set his car over here, dude or female, whoever it is. But who would that be? Like who would that be for Jose? Who would be your dream customer?
Man, I gotta think of it. It definitely have to be somebody that's into the 80s and 90s music. If I had hip hop from the 80s and 90s, I mean, there's a select few out there. Some of them that not around anymore. But I think if I have any of those from my childhood, right, from my childhood music wise, and they say, hey, I want you to do something for me, I think that'd be the one. It's not one specific person. It just has something to do with my childhood and my memories of the 80s and 90s. And I think that's where the hip hop was. That hip hop for me back then, and it's my opinion, right? That hip hop back then for me was like, yeah, that was music. You know what I mean? And there are some stuff with the new stuff here, and I can relate to it. But I just think that the 80s and 90s for me was just my time, my era. You know what I mean? So if somebody from there back then was to be like, hey, I want you to do something for my car, I'd be flattered, and then that'd be where I'd be like, oh damn, for real? That's what it'd be.
So LL Cool J calls up ModFX one day. You're gonna be like, oh snap.
I'd be like that. What? Wait a minute. Right off the rip. Yeah, of course. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Randall, who would that be for you, man? Who would be that one customer that you would just be like, wow, that's crazy?
Yeah, so if I had to pick one, and if we stick along the rap music theme, I would want to do a car for Cole, J. Cole. And so, that's my boy. I really rock with him. Don't listen to too much music. A lot of times I ride in silence. And so with Cole, I think the way that he carries himself is different as far as the way he is not materialistic. And so to pair that with a car and be able to play with like the color palettes, the textures, the different elements of actually putting the car together, I think that would be a nice blend. Because then like if we're doing some seats, I might do something like a burlap sack or something like that, where it's just completely different, outside of the norm. And I think that'll be just like how Travis Scott does. Travis Scott, all his cars are different. They're not just the car with wheels on it. They really put those cars together. So I would want to do a car for Cole.
Man,
hey, that's dope.
Real quick, Cole is my favorite artist right now. I live in North Carolina, so that's another reason why I'm locked into Cole. But I gotta ask people: has anybody ever seen J. Cole driving a car? Right?
He does.
I've never seen him out there. Yeah, I seen him when he was working on I think the album before last. He was riding around New York City on a bicycle. You know what I mean? Going back and forth to the studio like that. So I see where your mind is at, and I could imagine with the way J. Cole think what his vision would be. You know what I mean? On the car, man. So if anybody out there know J. Cole personally, make sure that y'all tap him in to ModFX. We need to get that going, man. I need to see it.
Wow.
Or he might even, now I'm thinking about it. Like what maybe he's into bicycles. A lot of people are into like those lowrider type bicycles and things like that. So is that something that you guys will like ever like tinker with, or like if J. Cole was to be like, hey man, I want you to check out this bike? Like, is that something that you guys like a project you guys would take on? I know it's like kind of left field.
Nothing. We never say no to nothing. Randall knows I won't say no to nothing. We got to find somebody that's gonna build the frame for us so we can do everything else. We're gonna find it. Trust me. Randall don't say no either. Randall's been a lot of times we be like, somebody come up with something like that, let's do that. I'm like, I've never done that. Randall's like, we're gonna do it. Don't worry about it. I got you. Don't worry. We got this. I was like, okay, let's do it. So he'll be that one person to be, and he's also, I consider him the mentor of my son. My son calls him Uncle Rand and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I look up to Randall when it comes to stuff like that for that motivation and that stuff. Just when I think I can't do something, Randall be, don't worry about it. We got this. Come on, and we'll make it happen. So.
That's what's up, man. Well, hey, well, J. Cole is an old soul as well, man. I think he's a new artist, but he does have that 90s flavor, you know what I'm saying, where it's all about lyrics and everything else, you know what I'm saying, more than just like the beat behind it, man. But he obviously there's a lot of meaning behind his lyrics, which was, back, in the late 80s and 90s, that's what music was about as well, man. So speaking of nostalgia, you know what I'm saying, we definitely got to say, by the way, right after this, man, it's already going right now. You know what I'm saying? The Versus is going on right now with Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One right now. You know what I'm saying? That Versus.
KRS-One.
Yeah. KRS-One in the Versus. So I know if Kane or KRS-One calls you, I know you're gonna go crazy. Like, that's it, man.
I won't know how to act. I'll be calling you on the phone, like, yo, bro, I can't believe this. What do you do?
That's crazy, man. But we only got a few more questions here because I know you guys is heading to right in the hour right now, and we don't. I know you're out and about, Jose and Randall. I know you're probably ready to go home. You know what I'm saying? You know, on a Sunday evening, get ready for a big week. Week.
Nah, Randall's ready to go to sleep right now. I see it in his eye.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we only got a few more for you guys, man. But one more thing with the shop though, right? Again, I know it's this as far as business perspective, it really hasn't been necessarily that long. But is this something that you guys will ever consider, man? Would you guys ever think about like expanding or franchising, you know what I'm saying, a business, or maybe opening up in different locations, things like that?
Man, that's been a discussion. Go ahead, Randall. I'll let you go first. I'll tell you what I got, but go ahead.
No, I mean, with anything, you know, you get a demand. And so with the resources we have here, you know, we're getting cars from, you know, Kentucky, you know, Arizona, New Mexico, Odessa, Dallas. So we get them from everywhere. And so, you know, it becomes a point to where you only can meet so much demand. And so, you know, eventually with every business, you know, it comes a time when you have to kind of look at other options. And so I think, you know, with the right foundation in place, it definitely will be an option. We just got to make sure, you know, you have the people, the resources, and they get that same quality, you know, and still get treated like family. Because as your family gets bigger, you know, you see people less, you know, you interact with them less, but you still want them to feel like they're right there with you at every step of the way. And so I think that's one thing we have to, you know, make sure we maintain. Like I said, everything else will fall into place. And so it's just making sure that if, you know, someone's getting something done in Florida, for example, you know, they still get the same ModFX treatment, as we call it. So.
Okay. Jose?
Yeah, I mean, and like Randall said, we tinkered around with something like that. And we get people all the time that say, "Hey, I look up to you guys." As to say, for example, and I want to have a ModFX out here, and I brought it to Randall's attention a few times. I think there was a Florida, there's a California, there's a couple people we still real close with, New Mexico, and then even Dubai with parts out there. There's somebody who came out and visited from Dubai not too long ago. Yeah, and there's been some talks here and there, but I think, and Randall's in right where you say, you know, we want to make sure that if we do this, it's not really because of the money, right? Because we got to think about the customers themselves and how they're going to react to these different places, how they're going to treat those customers. I would feel like you can only get one experience from ModFX at the hub, right? But there's always the main hub everywhere, right? If we had a way to teach people the culture the way we have it or the way that we do it, then I'm definitely not against it. But at the same time, we got to protect our rights, you know, with laws and things of that nature. And, you know, I mean, everywhere's not going to be the same. You're going to disappoint people at one point in your life. It's all about how you handle the situation and how it's going to go forward, right? So I think it would be lovely if something like that was ever to come across. So that'd be the next step where we have this. Hey, would you ever think you would have 5 or 7 locations or something, whatnot? That'd be the next conversation. But that's definitely something that we've thought about a bunch of times. Just trying to have something where we can put down and teach people the same, teach the culture, you know, the way we did it. And also we would have to reach out to the customers and the people who had experiences with it, right? What makes it so special to them in their mind? If that's the case, if we are, then what is it? What makes it? Well, what's making our name for us? Like, really, like, I'd like to ask that question sometimes and be like, hey, what makes you choose us versus other places, and why you know, if you left and then you come back, or you know, hey, I'm not going nowhere anymore. Because we had a bunch of those customers like that go somewhere else temporarily, because whether it be distance, whether it be they didn't see us do it before, and they wind up coming back, and then they after the second time they just say they just don't want to go anywhere else. So what makes them do that, right? Like, what did they see? What was the difference? What was the feelings? Yeah, so that's where I come from on that. That's my take.
Oh, okay, cool. Now, so I done seen a couple people in the chat say we need ModFX East, we need ModFX South. So they're definitely out there talking about it, guys. So I look forward to seeing that in the future. And going into this question that I got right now, I'm gonna start with you first, Jose. where do you see ModFX in the future, 5 to 10 years from now?
If I see them in the future, yeah, me and Randall ain't going nowhere. Shit,
No,
I'll be working on the car with my camera.
where? Like,
where?
Where? What do you see going on?
So this is a possibility, you know, and Randall might know a partial of this. It'll be in your hometown, North Carolina, because I don't know if you know, my sisters are from North Carolina right now. They just moved out there. So that's something that I looked at some areas, and my brother-in-law was telling me about a location that had, you know, like 4 or 5 garages and price-wise. And I was like, oh, okay, we're trying to look. I could see something like that where a family member could possibly do something over there where we can go, and me and Randall can go train, come back and forth, because, you know, we got family over there. And then Randall probably has somewhere where he got family somewhere. And I think that's where the core is going to become, right? You got to have somebody that you're really close with in another state so that you have ties to be there and come back and forth. For me, it would be North Carolina would be the next other spot.
If you don't mind me asking, around what city you talking about? If you don't mind.
Charlotte. It was Charlotte.
Hey,
Rels get excited.
Hey, I'm in Charlotte right now, brother. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, well, when you said North Carolina, my head stood up at first. I was like, oh, there's my sister.
Hey, man, I come through there. I'm retired. I retired 20 years from the Navy this past August or whatnot. So if they need somebody to come through to sweep the floors every now and then, just give me a call, man. I'll be in there, you know, pushing that broom. I got y'all, man.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I got you.
Stuff. I'll hold you to that.
I got you, brother. Hey, and for you as well, Randall.
Yeah, so 5 to 10, you know, even if I look 5 years from now, you know, who knows what the future may hold, you know. So, but really, I would look forward to being able to touch more people, meaning in different places, being able to, you know, still be able to bring a lot of different projects to life. Like I say, we've been able to work on a good variety of projects. And so not a lot of cookie cutter stuff, but more of the stuff where you can, you know, sit down and talk with a customer and really plan out a full build. And so definitely stressing full builds as well. And just being able to just have a platform, you know, to where, because we get some people that weekend warriors, they may be up north and they'll order parts from us. And so they'll say, hey, I want to do an air ride. What do I need? And so we get them all the parts, you know, and we're still a resource. They can call us 11 at night. You know, we'll still be here. I'll pass the phone to Jose. Say, Jose, we got a guy with a question. He's stuck on this car. Boom. You know, he'll take care of him. Or, you know, I might get a phone call for some information as well. And so even though we can't touch everyone physically, we still try and provide that same service. And so just being able to do that on a bigger platform, whatever that may lead us to be, will be awesome, you know. And like I said, it's just a marathon. And so it's, you know, you have your ups and downs, but as long as you keep moving forward and keep moving, that's really, you know, the key in my point of view. So
cool.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah, I say shout out to all those other. Oh, my bad. I say shout out to all those shops that reach out to us when they have issues and stuff like that. I get flattered all the time when they call. Hey, man, I got a problem with this car, and I'm like, you call? Oh, well, I think I know what it is. Hold on, I get really excited. I mean, perfect example of the show this weekend. Somebody was having problems with the air ride. I got triggered off it, and you know the system very well. I couldn't even air out on the car. He don't really know that system, but he was somebody, owner from a shop, and I was excited to just look at it. I was like, hold on, let me look. Hold on. I went and figured it out real quick and told him what it was. Like, I was real thankful for it. But I had fun out of that. You know, that's like my thing. Like, I like that. If I can help you and you're in a pinch, I'm not looking for nothing. I'm just looking to help out and just pass on the knowledge. If we all were like that, man, there'd be a lot of people out there being grateful and a lot less of this hatred. But it is what it is. But that's where I get my fun and my stuff. When I'm at a show and somebody has some issues or something, I got tools all the time. I got my mechanic suit. Randall know he got the overalls. When we travel as groups, I don't know if y'all know too, but when we travel with the team ModFX, I travel as these are all my kids. I don't care how old you are. If you're telling me you're part of my kid group, right? So if someone happens to see a car, I'm gonna make sure you ain't getting left behind. Just like if I didn't do that with our kids, you know, on one of my sons. So I carry extra bags, I carry extra tools, shocks. I mean everything. If we're going for a trip, I want to make sure we all coming back together. You know, Randall knows that shit for sure. His Jeep broke down one time. We went, San Antonio, Rand?
Yeah, San Antonio.
You know, and he was like, don't worry about it. Y'all go ahead. I'll make it back. I'll figure out how to go. I'm like, what? Are you crazy? No, we're going to figure this out. We got to get back. Yeah, we couldn't fix it at that moment there because we needed some more tools and stuff like that. But, you know, we came up with the idea of trailing it back, renting a U-Haul and a trailer. And we wanted to bring in his car late night. You know, we all stood over there. A bunch of us, I told a few to leave, you know, and a few insisted on staying. And we make sure that no man's left behind. and that's how we travel. You talking about you go all the way to California, 24-hour trip, and you got a group of 18. Something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna get a flat. Somebody's shit gonna break down. But to travel as a group like that and have people like me around us that care and be like, oh man, we can't leave you behind. We gotta figure something out. That's what's special, you know. So
well, that's what's up, man. Well, hey, we greatly appreciate it, man. Let me go ahead and shout out some people real quick, man, that came in as we were going. The conversation was so good that I couldn't pause in between, man. But of course, we had Miss ModFX in the building. The real New Yorkers we already seen, man. Zay TRD was in here, man. Catfish Corner was in here as well, man. Mr. Hustle Hard. King DJ Simmons, we said before. E-Unit 08. Yeah, in the building. Who else we had? Oh, Tay Weezy in the building as well. Greatly appreciate Tay Weezy. I'm sorry, T Rose. I'm thinking Tay Weezy and reading T Rose. Yeah. But Tay Weezy as well, right here. So I'm thinking Tay Weezy, looking at T Rose. So yes, shout out to both of them for coming through. And a bunch of other people as well, man. We greatly appreciate everybody that came through. You know, if I missed you, don't think I didn't see you. We definitely see you in here as well.
I've been trying to read the comments this whole time. It's kind of hard. I was looking at the comments.
Right, exactly.
People I recognize in there. I want to say what's up to everybody, but hey, what's up to everybody, right?
So what's up? What's up, LaShawn, E-Unit, and Chenzo?
Life with Ray. I should even put this comment up right here. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure Jose is just like me, and we Giants fans. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Life of Ray, because you are a big time Free Smoke Squad and Free Smoke supporter. I would go ahead and put it in the comments saying just got through watching them boys. Obviously, talking about the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? But but it's all good though. But anyway, but hey, we appreciate everybody, man. Yes, Team Android, of course. Roll Bells in the building as well. Hey, but again, one more time, we greatly appreciate you guys for coming on to the show. Like I said, we know that, especially, you know, you guys are out and about, you know, going to the shop and, you know, things like that, man. Taking time out of your Sundays to come through and hang out with us. Like I said, we do not take it for granted. We greatly appreciate everyone that comes on here. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, and especially tonight on YouTube, whatever, come on. Rels, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to you, man. If you want any last words for Jose or Randall or for anyone, you know what I'm saying, watching right now out there in the YouTube world.
Hey, first of all, salute to ModFX for coming through today, man. Salute to both of you guys, bro. Everybody that's in the chat, you guys continue to do what you do. I got a lot of insight when I had my Daytona 392. I used to watch you guys from a distance and seeing what you were doing down there, you know, and trying to be different. I was living in Memphis at the time, so I was trying to be different there, you know. So you guys, I know you see a lot of people that are, you know, taking things that you guys are doing and stuff like that and kind of putting their spin on it. So you know that you are very, very influential in the car culture, and you know, you won, if not the bigger names for the you know, customization and stuff like that. So continue to do what you guys do. I look forward to seeing that shop here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I love to see one in Miami and Cali, wherever else you guys may go, man. I just look forward to seeing your success, man. So big time salute, fellas.
Hey, Central Florida, if you guys have not thought about it,
man.
Yeah,
Central Florida.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, I got family
Florida.
there too. I got a bunch of the cousins who started me in the business are in Orlando, Florida right now. So
yes, that's what I'm saying. Orlando, Tampa, anywhere in Central Florida, you're gonna have the car scene down here is crazy. And you know, I would say, especially in Orlando, it's more still. I would say the you know, say the needle price still leans more towards the import side. You know what I'm saying? But the domestics are coming up really, really, really heavy. You know what I'm saying? In the Orlando, and especially if you go to the surrounding areas like Tampa and things like that. The domestics, obviously the Mopars and Mustangs and things like that, they're really coming up really heavy. But Orlando is, you know, even though they're coming up there as well, but it's still heavy on the import side because it is what it is. Orlando is basically, you know, San Juan, you know what I'm saying? Little San Juan, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
sir.
At the end of the day, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Hispanics love their imports, you know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, it's all good. But anyway, period though, like I said, Central Florida is definitely a big car culture, car scene, and everything else, man. But anyway, Jose, I'm gonna pass it to you first, man. You got any last words for everybody that's watching out there?
Yeah, I definitely got some last words. I'm always gonna have the last words. Randall knows that. I definitely, one of the things I'm gonna say then, when you're modding your car, you're doing something for your car, do it for you. Don't worry about everybody else, what they're looking at, what they like. Just do the car for you. It's your canvas, right? Just go ahead and have fun with it. Make it a part of your personality, make it your expressions or whatever, and don't listen to anybody else. I say that over and over to everybody else. And that's part of the tire letters on my thing. Run your own race, right? Don't worry about how I'm racing, what I'm doing. When you're running your race, you're worrying about your car, you're worrying about how you're driving it. Do the same thing with your mods in your car. Worry about yours and don't worry about everybody else's. And the same thing, to those people who always be, he copying this. Man, we all copycats in life if you think about it, because everybody's looking at somebody's been inspired by something else. To switch it with a little bit of your flavor,
Right.
twist it the way you like it, and you'll be happy. You'll be fine. You don't have to worry about everybody else. Trust me.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Randall, I'm going to go to do you the favor since Jose said he always get the last word. I'm going to give you the last word, man.
Also, I'm going to start out by, and I forgot to do this earlier, but I want to shout out Garage Driven. Like I said, when, building a business, you got to do groundwork. I shout out to Dallas for one of the cars. I think it was the Demonology YouTuber call out. I was at the shop and I left maybe like 12-1 in the afternoon, and shout out to Dallas. Went to the car show, had a good time. But, I made Garage Driven. We took a few pictures together, networked. And, a couple months later, we're on the podcast. So, it's all about, going that extra step, touching the ground, meeting people and networking. And so, definitely thank you all for giving us a platform. We appreciate you all supporting us as well. We'll definitely keep everything going. But at the end of the day, just have fun. If you have fun putting your car together, regardless of how much you spend or how much you have or don't have, just have fun. You can have a stock car and have the same amount of fun as someone that has 20,000 in that car. So, if you do that, don't worry about, all the other stuff, everything else will fall into place. So just have fun. Your car is your brand, so brand yourself accordingly. Always act and behave responsibly. We got a lot of stuff going on in the car community that kind of, puts a bad name for everyone out there, but just be yourself. Don't get influenced by, the peer pressure, and just do you. And so just like when we go to the car show, you see us on scooters zooming around. We even had scooter races. We doing scooter drag races. And then
that's
funny. Yeah. We had a guy that actually had a cast on his leg, and he had one of the little like the one-legged wheelchairs where you have to pedal it. And so he got in the scooter race and he beat everybody. And so it's like he might have been bored the whole day, but we gave him an opportunity to interact, and maybe one day he'll get some work done, maybe not, but he'll always remember that day. And so it's just about having
exactly.
fun. So.
There you go, man. 100%, man. Hey, by the way, Randall, can I tell you that those wheels you got on that car, your car right there, that was one of the wheels that I was really, really, really interested in about a year ago. I don't know if it's the same exact brand, but it was definitely that same style. And I was like, damn, I want those wheels. So I'm just letting you know, what I'm saying? I'm a little salty on the inside. Not just playing. I'm just playing. No, but hey, definitely
we gotta get Randall on those wheels, because Randall was always about the all blue and all black wheels. He didn't want to get out of it. I told him this year you better change it, but I don't want to hear it. You ain't gonna do no all black wheels. Put something to show out there. And then he showed me. I was like, oh, well, those are really nice the way he chose those. But yeah,
those are dope. Those are dope. Like I said, I was looking at those, man. Those are really dope, man. So, like I said, man, dope build you guys. Obviously, you guys are doing out there in Houston, man, and not only in Houston, but obviously people are sending their cars in. So you guys are touching, cars from all over the place and all over the world, as you guys mentioned. So you guys are obviously doing something right, man. And like I said, we greatly appreciate seeing you guys' work. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Randall, because as you guys were talking and I was giving the shout outs, I forgot to shout out our brother, our family, Garage Driven. I see him in the comments earlier as well. He said he was on a road trip with the family. So shout out to him, man. Drive safe, on that road trip with your family, bro. And shout out to one more person, because I remember I was thinking, I was like, as you guys were talking, like how I became, how I started learning about ModFX, and that was with I want to say, was it Big B TV? Was that his channel?
Oh shit, my man.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
I know he was there like every day, he was there like every day, shooting and everything else, man. So shout out to him, for at the end of the day, introducing, I guess, you guys to a lot of people that were just watching YouTube and not in that area, that he was definitely showcasing a lot of things that you guys had going on as well. So shout out to Big TV.
Yeah, he needs to come back. Well. He needs to come back. I told him he's busy, but he needs to come back to the shop, man. I told him I miss his ass. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to him.
When we met,
You know what I'm saying?
when me and Big B, I'm sorry to try to extend this a little longer, but
No,
when I met Big B, he was 800 followers in. That's it before he started recording at the shop.
Wow.
So he remembers that. He always gives us love, and he always shows us love, man. Never been switched up on us or nothing. You know, I know he's busy with his life and trying to do new things and that, but we talked recently. And he said he's gonna come back around. Because I told him I miss some of that, man. I love seeing that. Sometimes I'll be sitting in my living room and watching our stuff in the shop and the cutouts and the funny reels and stuff like that. It's like I'm missing myself too. So I was like, man, you gotta get back to it. You know, that's where he started.
That's what's up.
So,
yeah.
That's what's up, man. So so shout out to him too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everyone out there doing their thing, man. Again, one more time though, this is your day, man. You know, I did want to ask you guys one thing. Again, I'm sorry for extending it now too. But like the actual ModFX, like what does that name stand for? Obviously, we know the mod part.
Oh man, this
ModFX come from.
So that should have been the beginning of the video. I'll tell you right now. I'm sorry.
I know. I completely
forgot about that. How to mess with me. Sorry for all that. But me and Randall was in my garage when we decided to say we were gonna make a name, and we were gonna get a DBA and whatnot, become a business. It was like, man, we sat in the garage. Was like, let's think about stuff we do in the cars. Let's think of a name. So me and Randall were looking. He was, I don't know, something with new cars, right? Something with modern. And Randall was like, yeah, like the effects we do on stuff on the modern cars today. You know, like the modern effects. And then we both looked at each other and we said, let's shorten that ModFX. He was like, yeah. Next day he got a DBA. Next day, like Randall's like this. He's like, you say it, he's gonna do it.
Yeah,
right, Rand?
That's what's up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
Hey, somebody said they want to ask. I don't know if you can see that comment. I don't know if you can see that comment or not.
He said, if I'm a cop, why you say that? Tell me, boy. Come on, Chenzo. Why you asking that? Oh, he said it because the way I look. Oh, hell no. I got his car in my shop right now. He better watch it. I might mess it up.
Oh man. Yeah, you don't want to mess with nobody who got the keys to your car. You know what I'm saying?
No,
That's right.
Do anything wrong with it. But hey, one more time again, we greatly appreciate you guys, man, for coming on. Taking time out of your Sunday, you know what I'm saying, away from your families and everything else, man. We definitely appreciate you guys taking the time to come on to Free Smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we do not take that for granted. We appreciate everything that you guys are doing, man. And we just wish you guys, you know what I'm saying, much success, man, and blessings in the future. And obviously, I mean, we can already tell that the way you guys are going right now, I mean, there's no stopping you guys. And, you know, just the only way, as CJ on 32 says, you know, with the 32 game, only way to go is up. You know what I'm saying? And definitely we see you guys doing that, man. And you guys did it the right way, where, you know, it wasn't like, you know, we're not really into cars, but we know that there's a lot of money into it. And like I said, that hardly ever works. But you guys, obviously, your story here, your testimony, where it started off as a passion in your garage. You guys are just tinkering stuff, even from when you guys were younger to when you guys met each other to, hey, we're just playing with stuff in our garage, to making it an actual business. That's, you know what I'm saying, we could tell that's what it is. People in the comment section, I don't know if you read those, but some people in the comment section were saying, man, we love going over there because they treat us like family. You know what I'm saying? Every time we go over there. So, you know, that only way you could do that is if you really love what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, people are not just numbers. They're not just a check. They're not just a debit card. You know what I'm saying? They are a passion. They are a family. That build that you're doing for them, man, you guys really feel, you know what I'm saying, you guys are really passionate about that. So it speaks volumes, and it goes through your work. You know what I'm saying? And we never met you guys in person. We can see that through video, and I could, you know what I'm saying, through YouTube videos and whatnot and IG posts. So I could just imagine how people feel when they actually go to your shop, man. And like I said, people have said that in the comment section here tonight. So, you know what I'm saying? So big salute to you guys, man. Salute to Jose. Salute to Randall, man. You guys are definitely doing big things. Other than that, that's all we got for y'all tonight, man. Hey, don't forget, every single Sunday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, we go live. You know what I'm saying? We have a live show right here, sometimes on Thursdays, but definitely every single Sunday. Next Sunday, speaking about demonology, shout out demonology. We got demonology and Duckmaster in the building.
Hey.
We got both of them coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? As y'all know, man, Scary Fast is coming up at the end of October. So they're gonna come on, man, and they're gonna go at it. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see who they think is gonna be the victor. You know what I'm saying? And they're definitely gonna have that pre showcase right here on Free Smoke, man. So make sure y'all tune in next Sunday. I believe that's the 24th. Make sure y'all tune in, man. Demonology and Duckmaster will be here on Free smoke, man. Other than that, don't forget also we got a show that comes out every single day. You know what I'm saying? Talking about news for the culture. Put out a video every single day for you guys, man. And make sure you guys check that out as well. And of course, the freesmoke.com. Go check that out. Go get your merch. Go get your apparel. The winter line is out. We also have the hoodies and the sweatpants. And of course, we got the regular t-shirts as well. You know what I'm saying? Free Smoke. Other than that, that's all we got for y'all today. We greatly appreciate y'all, man, for rocking out with us, checking out, you know what I'm saying, rocking out with ModFX, rocking out with Free Smoke. And, man, don't forget to tune back in, man. That's all we got for y'all today. Yo, bless up to everyone out there. Big time salute and shout out to the Free Smoke Squad. And if you don't know, you are watching Free Smoke. And we do this for the culture. Yo, we out of here. Later. Jose, Randall, one more time. Salute, bro.
Drop your numbers. Do me a favor on text message. Drop the numbers.
Yes, sir. We will. We'll do it.
Yes, sir. All right, cool.
All right.